The Rwanda Revenue Authority is charged with the task of assessing, collecting and accounting for tax, customs and other revenues through effective administration and enforcement of the laws relating to those revenues.
This process was taking rather long.
It wasn't so efficient. Of course, it involves so many people.
Tunaona kuwa inachokesha.
I'm Peter Agapira. I'm the operations manager, Gorilla 1000 Clearing Agency. We help our clients with import procedures, export procedures, transit procedures. We are the go-between the importer and the Rwanda Revenue Authority. We've been using ASYCUDA-based. It goes with the manual system. It takes time. The work starts from the border.
The custom clearing process was a manual process.
Huwa tunawangoja wateja wetu ndo madereva ndo wanasimamia wale wafanyabiashara kwa sababu ndo wanabeba mzigo hii. Akija hiyo kwanza ndo kwa upande wangu naona ni ofisi ya kwanza. Ninaelekea kwa DTI, yani ni ofisi ya kuprocess datas. So niweze kucapture hizi documents alafu gari nitume Kigali kwa ICD ya Kigali Majerwa.
Right from the border, the entry point of all imports and goods in transit, the clearing process involved going to 5 offices and filling out numerous forms.
ASYCUDA++, ingawa hata haikuwa mbaya sana, lakini kwa sasa tunaona kuwa inachokesha. Kwa sababu ninatoka ofisi hii, niende hii, natumia nguvu zaidi.
We receive trucks from the border, we register, then we relocate according to the nature of goods in the warehouse.
When goods arrived at the inland container depot, Magerwa, the manual tallying was done, after which the arrival notice was manually prepared for the clearing agent to commence the clearing process.
Now I'm going to RDB to get approval, and now I'm rushing so that I can get there in time before they leave.
At the Rwanda Development Board, the 3 major components of company registration, exemption applications and customs declaration were all manual and time-consuming. Congestion in the offices and the parking lot was also a challenge to efficient delivery of services.
To process one application was taking, let's say, 1 hour. If I look at the clearing agent should send a messenger to come with the file, and we physically record it in our system. It passed through 3 desks for approval and recording. Once the request is approved, it goes back to the clearing agent to undertake other required processes with customs.
Filling the form also takes time. It is like double declaration.
So there's a time to move from your office to go to government agents, and then there's another time to wait. Sometimes files are processed and approved, but there is no information in real time.
For our case at the Rwanda Bureau of Standards, a cargo could come, then Majerwa, which is the ports authority, could give the what we call a vide-arrivée or arrival note. Then the clearing agent comes with the arrival note. We go to carry out the physical inspection. If the goods are okay, we release. If they are not okay and they are suspects, we sample, we tell him to wait, we test, bring the results, clear him.
The process itself, of course, it involves so many people, and it takes your time. In that time you may be dealing with other things.
naonaga kuwa ni nyepesi kabisa.
It's facilitating business.
There is no miscommunication.
And it's easier, it's less cost for us.
The launch of the Rwanda Electronic Single Window System, ESW, has brought about efficiencies in productivity, time management, and cost of doing business.
We as Rwanda, we thought it was a very important enabling tool to implement in Rwanda towards trade facilitation. And the strategic sense behind this is that how can we try to improve on our time release? Time release meaning how long does it take for you to release the goods? So when you start from that perspective and say we need to expedite the clearance process of the customs, basically the importation, the exportation, and also the transit aspect of our business.
The Rwanda program, the electronic single window, is one of our most important areas of support. Electronic single window is a sort of an IT solution to improving efficiency of administration of the whole process of clearing goods.
The aim is to have all agencies involved in the clearance process using this system. We have Rwanda Bureau of Standards, Rwanda Development Board, Majerwa. We have Ministry of Health. We have airlines, and then this system also is connecting all clearing agencies.
With the single window process, you have to be connected to the internet. Every company is given a password and a login number, ID, such that you can be connected. So once you're connected into it, that's when you start doing the login of each and everything. You have to have your documents by your side. It's kind of like a table form, something that you keep on filling. You just read and fill in what they're asking you for.
At the border, the clearing agent now only goes to one office and electronically fills in all the data, which is immediately available to the relevant offices.
And I can see everything is here. So I'm going to start doing my declaration process. You have to scan the documents. After you're done with the declaration, you scan them. You attach them to that declaration that you've made, that entry that you've made. Then you forward them and then you check it. So if there's any problem, a red line will show, showing that there's a mistake with your declaration. Then you have to go through it and check it again. Then you keep clicking till it's validated. So when everything is right and there's no red line, you can access it.
This system works anywhere you can be. If you are at home, you can also process the applications. Once the application is lodged in, we see it and proceed with approval or rejection, depending on the nature of that request.
When RDB sends back the reply, like if it's a positive reply, which is usually positive, you access the document and you can print it and you can then go on with the rest of the Rwanda revenue procedures. Because the guys in customs see it automatically. They also see that they have replied you and they see that the document has been accessed, so they can validate and then release you later on. But that is also after you have paid. Yeah, because the payment is usually done before the validation and by Revenue Authority.
It is a transparent system because you can monitor and follow up, where your consignment, which stage of your consignment is in the clearance process.
You can have the number of trucks from the border to our warehouse without physical document or waiting for truck to come.
All transit information captured by customs is available on the ESW, and the inland container depot extracts the transit information necessary. After the physical tallying, the ESW generates the arrival notice needed for the clearing process.
The new system is, we have already chosen the criteria for which we are going to inspect, meaning that actually some of the consignments which don't bear a very big risk to the public will go uninspected. So that's the criteria which was not there before. This time there is a clear criteria on which we're going to clear our goods.
I'm actually done. I'm waiting for him. I'm going to send him a message such that he can bring me his check, such that we can do the payment.
As a new system, some people are not very familiar with the system, but this will be solved with time. At least 3 clearing agents from every company, they had 3 days training.
In 3 days, learning a new software was kind of hard, but you'd keep doing it.
terms of the cost of doing business, and we estimate for about 1% of the total trade in goods that comes across on these corridors, which will amount to about $15 to $20 million a year. So it's a very high impacting project.
Today, you can have a real-time information. When your approval is processed, approved, you receive a message. It is dialect.
There is no miscommunication because we share the whole system.
It's a very good project because it's facilitating business. It's allowing interconnectivity between the agencies, and it's taken wholeheartedly by the business community. They are happy with it too.
Just imagine the fact you just seated in your office waiting for everything to happen there, where you don't have to move.
What Trademark is very interested in doing is not only working with Rwanda on this. We think that there are regional gains to be had by working in the other countries of the EAC. So, for instance, Uganda will be adopting the same system, which will be funded by Trademark. Tanzania and Burundi are also going to embrace the same single window system. And in having more countries using the same system, they'll be able to speak with each other more effectively, which will create greater synergies for also crossing borders.
One of our strategic planning was that we first perfect these 3 areas, which are they take more than 80% of the clearance time and the goods. The moment we perfected this area, which we are closing this month, next month we get into the wet and port, basically our fuel, where we clear our fuel. And the moment we do that, then we shall move to the border posts. So we strongly believe that by September, all customs points will be using electronic single window.